Did you remember when a two-star recruit got to play in the Army All-American game after winning a reality TV show competition? His journey to the game and the college career that occurred after is a crazy story. His name is Driphus Jackson. But who is Driphus Jackson? Driphus Jackson was born on September 6, 1992 in Dallas, Texas, but grew up in Cedar Hills, Texas. From a young age, Jackson loved the game of basketball, learning about competition and teamwork from playing basketball, but would find success playing football. Driphus would go on to become a 3-year starter for Cedar High School, and during his senior year, Driphus threw for 2,900 yards and 30 touchdowns and added 600 yards on the ground. He was a member of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Top 300 and tabbed as one of the top 25 quarterbacks. Honorable mention, Academic All-State selection, and MVP of District 5-5A. Coming out of high school according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Driphus Jackson was a 2-star recruit who was the 116th best athlete, 263rd best player in Texas, and 1,781st best player in his class. He received over 6 different Division I offers from the likes of Colorado State, Minnesota, New Mexico, Rice, Tulsa, and UTEP. You're probably sitting at home wondering right now, why am I talking about a 2-star recruit right now that you probably have never heard of? Well, Driphus Jackson appeared on MTV's The Ride. When he stepped on the field of Football University in Annapolis during July before his senior year, he was an underrated prospect who did not realize his life was about to change. While at the camp, he was invited to join the sports reality show that took 8 under-the-radar high school quarterbacks through a grueling season-long training program for a chance to earn All-American status and a roster spot in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, the nation's premier high school football game. Jackson would go on to win the competition and played for the West team. Although playing time was limited, it was a life-changing experience, with Jackson telling rivals playing in that bowl game with that level of talent was an incredible experience. I had to learn to take it to another level because every single kid there was a 4 or 5-star recruit. Everyone was elite. I am already a hard worker, but it showed me how much harder you must work at this level. Definitely a great preview of what I'll see next season at Rice. Jackson would end up committing to Rice while the show was airing and spoke on the experience, saying the entire experience on the ride has been absolutely tremendous, eye-opening and maturing. The national exposure and opportunity was incredible, and the coaching truly helped elevate my overall game and technique. I can't say enough about the overall experience. Just amazing, and I'm thankful to have been a part of it. Jackson's All-American experience also gained him some new quarterback friends. One of the best things was meeting these guys and making new friends, he said. Bubba Starling was my best friend I made. I know I'll be talking to him more. He is just so down to earth. I knew J.W. Walsh because we're both in Texas and played against each other. And Cody Kessler is about the coolest cat you'll ever want to meet. Going into his freshman year, Jackson would redshirt in 2011 and backed up Taylor McArgue as a freshman. He played in 10 games and started 1, completing 56.5% of his passes for 672 yards and 6 touchdowns. He came in late versus Marshall in relief of McArgue and scored his first career touchdown to send the game to a second overtime. Then, he made his first career start the following week versus Houston, throwing for 272 yards and a pair of scores. He tossed his first career touchdown pass to Sam McGuffey in the third quarter, then the pair combined on an 88-yard scoring play in the fourth to enter Rice's record book for the longest scoring pass in school history. He also threw a pair of touchdown passes versus Southern Miss. His most impressive game of his redshirt freshman season came in Rice's bowl game against Air Force. During the Armed Forces Bowl, McArgue was forced to leave the game with a concussion, and Driphus came off the bench. Rice was trailing 14-7 at half, but Jackson was able to amp up the passing game. He completed pass after pass and found sophomore wide receiver Jordan Taylor on a 22-yard touchdown. He would later find Taylor again on a 34-yard strike to put the game out of reach. He finished the game completing 15 of his 21 passes for 264 yards and 2 touchdowns, which led to him being named the player of the game. In 2013, Jackson battled nagging injuries throughout the season. He scored his first touchdown against New Mexico State and came in for Taylor McArgue and led the Owls to 10 points in the fourth quarter to beat Kansas 23-14. He would return to action in the Conference USA title game, finishing the year completing 5 of his 6 passes for 50 yards and 1 interception, while also rushing for 156 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Going into the 2014 season, Jackson was named the preseason Conference USA third team and had a big year. Jackson took over the starting quarterback job for the first time and finished the year throwing for 337 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in the regular season finale, and finished the year strong with 318 yards and 3 touchdowns in the bowl game win over Fresno State. Jackson finished the year throwing for 2,842 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, and rushed for 401 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground. Jackson ranked third nationally with an average of 14.88 yards per completion in 2014, thanks in large part to 7 completions of 50 yards or more, including a pair of over 80. Jackson was also nominated for the AFCA Good Works team for his many contributions in the community, including his mentorship of 70-year-old cancer patient Frederick Ziggy Stovall Red as part of the team's involvement with Team Impact. Going into his senior year, Jackson looked to continue the success he saw during his junior year. The Rice Owls came into the 2015 football season as a trendy pick to challenge Louisiana Tech for the West Division crown in Conference USA. Rice began the season 2-3, and Jackson was struggling, with Jeremy Attic from the Underdog Dynasty writing, "Rice's bread and butter as an offense under Jackson has been to run the option attack out of the spread look. There will be missed pitches and fumbles throughout the season, but in Saturday's game, Jackson and his running backs seemed to be completely on different wavelengths. Pitches in the option attack were so bad that one was ruled a fumble and changed to an incomplete pass due to its inaccuracy. Not only was Jackson inaccurate in the option attack, he was also erratic and inaccurate in the passing game versus Western Kentucky. During that game, he went 5 for 10, passing for 87 yards and missed on multiple opportunities to hit open wide receivers. It's no secret that Western Kentucky plays very poor defense, but his inability to do anything positive during his time in the game was a huge disappointment. He would even be pulled in the second quarter during Rice's 49-10 home loss. Head coach David Bailey spoke on his senior struggles, saying, "I think he's been putting a lot of pressure on himself to try to make sure everything is perfect. It can't be. You win football games by working hard and having fun. Driphus has been working hard, but he hasn't had a lot of fun. He's been putting a lot of pressure on himself." Jackson followed that game up throwing for 284 yards and 3 touchdowns in a win at Florida Atlantic, and followed that up throwing for 267 yards and 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, Rice finished the year losing 4 of their last 5 games and missed a bowl game. Jackson finished the year throwing for 2,348 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, while also rushing for 3 touchdowns. He finished his Rice career throwing for 5,912 yards and 38 touchdowns, along with 16 interceptions. Once Jackson graduated from college, he started to get more involved with quarterback development and eventually found himself helping coach local camps. He decided to start Hard Count Football Academy, which brings the open run mentality from basketball to the gridiron, providing a classroom session that highlights more than just the game. They talk about life, college, and the game as well. The last thing I was able to find was that they planned for a large expansion in 2019. Overall, Driphus Jackson's story is an extremely interesting one, being a 2-star recruit who played in the Army All-American Bowl. He may not have had an insane college career, but was still able to find success at the Division I level. But what do you think of Driphus Jackson's story? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.